In a recent post on Truth Social, President Trump posted, "Every shot fired by the Houthis will be looked upon as being a shot fired from the weapons and leadership of Iran." That's not a threat. That is a battlefield order, and President Trump just made it crystal clear. Any more Houthi attacks and Iran will pay the price personally. There's no more hiding. There's no more proxies. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just made it official U.S. doctrine. So President Trump just published a statement on Truth Social that completely resets America's approach to proxy warfare. And it's not subtle. It's not diplomatic. It's a direct order to Tehran. And he said, let nobody be fooled. The hundreds of attacks being made by Houthi all emanate from and are created by Iran. And that line alone changes everything. He's not calling Iran a sponsor anymore. He's calling them the source. And more than that, he's declaring that any further attack will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that force stops at Yemen. And that's not a red line, in my opinion. That's a declaration that's being pre-authorized. So I want to talk about SecDev Pete Hegseth's repost. It's official policy. And when the Secretary of Defense reposts a statement like that from the president, it becomes more than political. It becomes military posture. And Pete Hegseth didn't just like the message. He amplified it. That tells CENTCOM, JSOC, the Navy, the NSA, everybody what the chain of command now expects. So I bet there's going to be meetings happening as we speak to talk about what that's going to start to look like. And this isn't a casual warning. This is an operational shift, and any future Houthi attack is now grounds for direct U.S. strike on Iranian military infrastructure, and the Pentagon is on notice. And the world is now on notice, and more importantly, Iran is on notice. So I want to talk about Iran's cover story. I believe it's dead, and for decades Iran played this game. They funded the proxy, armed the militias, and deny all the responsibility. And they did it with Hezbollah, they did it with Hamas, and they're doing it now with the Houthis. But Trump just shredded that playbook in one Truth Social post. And he exposed Iran's nonsense, that they've lost control of these groups. He said flat out, they haven't lost control. They're dictating every move. And that's the most dangerous sentence in the entire statement, in my opinion, because it assigns agency and it gives America moral, legal, and tactical justification to now act directly. So I want to hit the strategy behind the words. To me, this is about deterrence, but real deterrence, the kind Israel has used for decades. You hit us, we won't just hit back. We hit the power structure that enabled it. And that's how you make regimes think twice before lighting that fuse. And President Trump is using the same logic, in my opinion. He's saying you supply the Houthis with weapons, intel, and cash, you just made yourself a combatant. And that means if a U.S. Navy vessel is hit tomorrow, Tehran may get hit the day after, and it's about time. And it means the U.S. is finally removing that buffer zone of deniability Iran is hidden behind for way too long. You ever wonder why my show even exists? It's not just about breaking news. It's about breaking through lies. And this show is my war room. Every episode is a mission. Every truth bomb we drop pushes back on the darkness. We're under attack, spiritually, culturally, physically. The media lies, the universities indoctrinate, social media silences, but we're still here, fighting, loud, and unapologetic. Now, I'm not backed by a network, no corporate agenda. This show is powered by you, and we've made it this far together. Now here's how you can help me take it even further. You can donate directly and become part of the core sponsorship team keeping this mission alive. Hit the link in the description. Support packages start at $25. They help keep the lights on in the studio. You can also pick up my deep concealment holster, the same one I designed and trained Keanu Reeves on for the John Wick franchise, because carrying smart is part of the mindset. Also, you can grab a 3-pack of the famous Aaron Cohen Show Merkava Coffee, the only coffee in America strong enough to fuel counterterrorism. This stuff is incredible. Or grab a signed copy of my best-selling memoir, The Story Behind the Story, The Real War, The Brotherhood, The Mission. Either way, every purchase fuels the next operation. Every dollar helps me punch back harder. So if you've ever said, finally, someone said it, now's your moment to join the fight. Click the link down below, sponsor the mission, grab yourself a coffee, a holster, an autographed copy of my memoir, or join my support team and let's lock shields and keep pushing forward, because never again means now. Support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. And so I want to say this. If Iran doesn't heed this warning, the next Houthi missile could trigger a serious escalation in modern Middle Eastern warfare, because this time Trump is prepared to actually hit Iranian soil. And if he does, Israel's going to be right there with him. All that intel coming from Israel, our F-16s, our pilots, our spec ops, whatever the U.S. needs. And Iran has spent years preparing asymmetric fronts, Yemen, Lebanon, Gaza, Syria. But Trump just flipped the board. And if one of those fronts attacks, he'll skip the middleman. No more side missions. He'll go for the central nervous system, and he should. And that's how wars end quickly, and that's how you collapse terror regimes. You go for the jugular, and you end it quick. And at the end, Trump said consequences will be dire. That's how he ends the message. Iran will be held responsible and suffer consequences, and those consequences will be dire. Love that line. Those aren't empty words. That's a clause in military authorization. It's language that signals readiness for what I think is rapid response, not just against launchers, not just against these rebel idiots, but against actual regime targets in Iran. And the Houthis are now what I'm calling the tripwire. Any further attack could bring American firepower and Israeli intelligence together down on the architects of Iran. And that's the world we're in now. And it's the most strategically sound place, in my opinion, that we've been in years. So I want to close it out with this. Iran's mask is now off. Trump isn't negotiating. He sees them. He's not buying time. He's not calling for summits. He's issuing warnings backed by muscle. And Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, is confirming to every military commander in the field that this is very real. That's how I read it. The doctrine is simple. If Iran fires through a puppet, Iran bleeds. You arm them, you answer for them. You launch from behind the curtain, we burn the curtain down with you inside. And this is how you shut down terror. This is how you restore American strength. And this is how you remind Iran and the rest of the world that there's a new sheriff in town. And he's not waiting around for approval. I want to end it with this. If you guys are watching the Aaron Cohen Show, as always, if you believe in clarity over confusion, strength over appeasement, and consequences over chaos, support the mission. Hit the link down in the description. Check out the AaronCohenShow.com. Grab yourself some Merkava Coffee, a 3-pack. Train in some behavioral-based CQB if you're law enforcement. Or pick up my best-selling deep concealment holster. Same one I trained Keanu on for the John Wick franchise. Thing is incredible. Runs below the waistband. Zero printing. Lightning fast draw. Will never fall off you if you have to go hands-on. Or grab a signed copy of my best-selling memoir, Brotherhood of Warriors, The Story Behind the Story, and learn about Israeli special operations through an American optic who served in Israel's top counterterror unit in Israel. Or Join my sponsorship team. You can donate direct to the show. Sponsorship kits start at $25. All of this helps keep the lights on in the studio and helps me to continue to combat that anti-Israel misinformation and propaganda while bringing you guys no-nonsense analysis of counterterror, the Mideast, and national security. Going to come back to this as this Houthi thing continues to bubble up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Trump is handling this correctly? Is putting Iran on notice the right thing to do? Is it enough with Iran hiding behind the mask and allowing the Houthis to play with whoever they want in the Middle East and continue firing their missiles? Is it time to take it directly to Iran? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm going to come back to this one as it continues to develop. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I will catch you guys on the next one.